Hey there, welcome to saas.unbound, brought to you by saas.group. I'm your host, I'm Dana, and this is the show where we chat with inspiring founders and experts to get an inside scoop on how they made their business a success. And today with me is Luca, CEO and co-founder of Customerly, an in-app messaging platform for SaaS companies with over 31,000 businesses using the tool already. They're on a mission to help and inspire at least 1 billion people. That's very ambitious. I love the mission. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Anna, for having me today. It's a pleasure to share our story with your audience. So, looking forward to it.
Super. All right. Well, let's get started. And first, I guess maybe with your background a little bit and like how you got to build Customerly because it's not your first business. So, can we get a little bit of that story?
Sure. So, when I was at a university, I started building mobile apps for my needs, basically, and one of them actually skyrocketed to 12 million downloads.
Mhm.
There was an app to help people to get the driver license in Italy. So we own the market today, but at the time I was like a teenager, not knowing what I was doing. I dropped out of college, and funny enough, I won two scholarship, one for an
Oh.
Italian university in Milan and another one in San Francisco. So
Mhm.
out of this experience, I didn't know what was a startup at the time, but then I learned fast forward that I had a business, and then I learned to create software as a services. So my first software as a service was for driving schools to
Mhm.
connect the people using the app to the driving schools. And so when I started running the business, I recognized the issues, the needs that I had
Mhm.
to communicate with my customers on the platform where they were. So that
Mhm.
is the main reason we built Customerly. We had these needs in our platform at the time.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, and uh, forgive me if I pronounce it really wrong. It's quiz patente, right?
That's
Um,
actually really good. Yeah, yeah,
okay, good.
exactly.
All right, I tried. Okay, so you exited that business a couple of years ago. So,
In 2017, yeah.
okay, all right, so way more than that. All right, so since SaaS Group buys SaaS companies, we're really always interested in like how other founders selling to other companies have gone through it and what was the experience. So, what was your experience selling that company? And based on that, are you building customerly with an exit in mind?
Good question. So at the time, the idea of the exit was more related to a need. So Customerly was growing fast, and I was in between places basically, and so that's when I decided to exit, to sell it to basically anyone that was interested into it. And I remember at the time. It wasn't that easy to find a person, a company interested in buying that kind of assets. It was very early stages, mobile apps and everything. So I started to basically reaching out to competitors and knocked different doors. I was into different meetings, like I guess 12 meetings at least with different competitors with boards of huge companies, and we were two. So it
Yeah.
was really fun and painful at the same time because we got nine no's before getting the yes that exited the company, and everything was like completely different from there. So what was the second question again?
Sure. So, are you building customerly with an exit in mind, or are you just for now scaling it indefinitely?
Well, yes, it's not the main goal for sure,
Mhm.
but we have that in mind. We have that in
Okay.
mind.
All right. Okay. We can, yeah, we can stop here. All right. Now, I wanted to ask you about bootstrapping because obviously, when I was researching about you in the tool, I went to your blog and there there was a huge post about bootstrapping and why you chose it. So can you tell us a little bit more about that? And for everyone who's listening, like, go to their blog. It's a great post. But yeah, maybe if you can just tell a little bit more about it and why even now, because you're in a pretty competitive space, you decided
Yeah.
that bootstrapping is something that you're going to go with.
Yeah. So it's always been my way of doing it, right? Also with Quiz Patente, I created like a huge amount of inbound downloads without investing any money. So it was always my way of doing it. So I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm still in the process to understand if it's right to execute as a bootstrap company customarily.
Mhm.
Sometimes, since we receive a lot of emails from VC interested into investing customarily, you know, once in a while we decide to revise this execution, but like until now we have the freedom to develop the product as we want to and as our customer asking us to do. And what I believe it's fundamental is that I need to serve our customers rather than our investors. And that's, I believe, make a huge change. Also, we had some like experiences of friends that we saw with VC backed companies that it wasn't great at all. So I don't know, it was a to me it's like the way of doing it, but like during the execution I saw different things failing because the acceleration they've got, because they had to spend money that they got from VC. So my idea is that we need to optimize everything to make it works, and we're 7 years in business now, so it's still working. And but at the same time I would love to accelerate, especially now with AI. It's crazy good the way is working. So we're getting some capital, but from banks mainly. So that's the way we want to continue to be bootstrapped.
Okay, super interesting. It's great that you mentioned that you with both businesses you've grown quite significantly without putting in any money into your growth. So again, as far as I remember from some of the blog posts, you got some credits for your AWS servers, and then you also offered lifetime deals, and that's something that I really want to get into. And also, you could somehow reduce your Stripe cost to zero. So, can you elaborate a little bit? I think that would be really interesting for a lot of bootstrap founders.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So when we started, we actually got our first 5K in AWS credits. So we managed to reduce the cost to zero for almost 12 months. That it was a huge help from the Amazon team. So we're very thankful for that. And then we got the Stripe starter package as well. We got zero fees for 30,000 euro transacted on the platform. So it was like another good amount of money we saved. Um, that was the main thing. And then after a couple of years, we were spending around 2K per month of 2 or 3K per month of AWS bill. So again, we reached out to them and we asked if we can get more credits. Their credits is for startup is like it's a stair step. So it depends how your startup is going and everything. But we managed to get another 25K. So in total, we got 30,000 K. The next year it's supposed to be 100K, but it's only for VC backed company, which is kind of
Okay.
unfair, I would say. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of the opposite, but it's their policy. It's fine. We got another 25K that could, help us a lot to hire another person on the team and bring the product to the next level. So it was a huge, huge help from the team.
All right, perfect. Well, let's talk maybe a little bit more about the lifetime deals that you started selling, and how did you come up with the idea in the first place, and what was your experience?
Sure, that's a good question. I'd love to speak about LTD. So first of all, I was suggested to run an LTD, a lifetime deal, from a friend, and I wasn't aware of what was it, how it worked, and so the first brand that comes to mind when you speak about LTD is AppSumo, right?
Yeah,
And we knew that we weren't prepared to scale our infrastructure at the time to go to AppSumo. So our idea was like, okay, let's find out a community that is like a bit smaller than what it is on AppSumo, and let's run the LTD on that community, because this way, we can sell a bit more to, expand a bit more the audience, but without crushing it.
yeah,
Because we
yeah.
were definitely not ready for getting all the customers in the platform at the time. Thing is, we went for, so that if you want to know the full story, we went
Sure.
for
I feel like
a
it's a good
community.
story.
Yeah, it's funny because somehow we created hype without even knowing it. And the reason why was that we been reached out from this person that had a good community on Facebook groups, and then we started, crafting the deal and crafting the dates and everything. And he went on the group on Facebook saying, customer deal is coming on this group. And so people were ready to get it, right? But then I started to connect with the founders that run at the time an LTD with this person, and all of them were actually scammed by this person. So I
Oh,
said, whoa, 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 wait, what is happening? I'm not gonna run an LTD with this guy. Like, all of them were scammed by this person, and basically this person never paid him, because when you use like a company like AppSumo or like whatever else to run an LTD, they will get the revenue and then they will share the revenue with you.
yeah,
So the contract was the same, but this guy wasn't paying the founders, and so some of them failed because of him. So I decided, no, okay, this is not the right community. And from there to the time when we found out another partner that was at the time pitch ground to run our LTD, um, that community started asking where and when customer is going to be launched. And so that created the hype. So when we launched on pitch
mhm,
ground, that at the time was at their second or third, I don't remember, third LTD, we were quite new. He was quite new. He was having like a community of around 2,000 subscriber. So when we launched that, the hype that was created on the other group about customerly was brought to this community. So like we managed to sell 2,000 LTD in like 1 month. I was like, shit. I was like, we were expecting to sell like maybe maximum 500 licenses, and then we ended up selling 2,000. And I
right.
remember at that time it was crazy. It was crazy. Like a lot of tickets, a lot of questions about the products, a lot of onboarding, one to one. And it was Black Friday actually. It was Black Friday of 2017 or 18, something like that.
Yeah. So okay. So exactly 5 years ago to the day,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's
exactly.
Black Friday today.
Yeah,
All right. Oh wow, that's a wild story. I mean, off the record, can I then get the name of the person so we steer clear?
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So that was like the journey in between. But like after that, for sure, if you want to run an LTD, you need to be sure that the offering is very well structured in a way that somehow you're for sure limiting the services that you're going to offer. I'm gonna be honest, like we had maybe one of two conversions from LTD to MRR. So,
Okay.
you know, I always shared this mixed idea of, LTD is good if you want to get some cash injected into the business. We got 65K for free, basically. But then you have to support, to onboard, to stick with these users that they might never upgrade to any other plan. So it's a lifetime deal. We were aware of it and we were just fine. But if you want to find the right customers, the LTD community, in my opinion, is not the right place to find them because they're always searching for the offer, the LTD, and they will never stick with your product if they have to pay a bit more. That's our experience. That's what we saw.
Okay.
Those are our numbers. Two people out of 2,000 converted in MRR.
Hmm. Oh wow. That's a very interesting learning that that you're sharing here, because yeah, for some LTD, I think the stories that I've heard were pretty much the same. Like it's fun, but then a lot of people just abandon it or just like churn very quickly. So all right. Well, since we started talking about the communities and offers, then you tried another community. You went on Product Hunt. And
Mhm.
oh, people are going to blame me again that I hate Product Hunt. I really don't. I think it's great. But yeah, how was your experience there?
Again, at the time, I didn't know like how the product launches worked. I've been helped by a friend to craft the first product launch, and it was a complete failure. Like I would say, maybe we got
Okay.
30 upvotes. Never hit the first page. So the first one was like a complete failure. But the second, the third, and the fourth were actually good in terms of hype, interactions. We learned a lot by doing it, and now we're launching again. So, what changed? First of all, the kind of communication you're doing on the platform and the community that you have to leverage, the algorithm to get in the first page or in the top three positions. So I don't remember exactly, but like the second, third, and fourth, we ended up in the top five. One of them ended up in the top second. And for that week, we ended up in their weekly products and newsletter that was sent out to 100K subscriber, and that was like an outcome. Another
Yeah.
outcome was that, for example, for the video live chat product, since that was referring to our product on our product landing page, the product landing page got a lot of SEO benefits as well. So we saw a lot of direct and indirect benefits on launching on product hunt for sure. It's a great community. I love them, and yeah, we're going to launch very soon our next iteration of the products.
Perfect. Oh, well, I mean, by the time this episode is out, saas.unbound is also going to be on Product Hunt. So um, again, I don't hate Product Hunt. I just want honest opinions, like how it worked for everybody, because every time, or at least like a couple years ago, launching on Product Hunt was still kind of approached as, you have to hack it, you have to like know some kind of tweaks and the algorithm that it works with, and you know you can do this but you cannot do that, you have to stay there for 24 hours. And I think now it's just a bit more at ease. So like it's a great community, like you said. It's a great way to just tell your customers or potential customers like what's going on, that you're alive, that there is a new feature, that you're shipping something. Um, get some indirect um, advantages from it. But yeah, then again, it's very questionable on like whether or not it then results in going into your MRR, but that's a different story.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. That's true. We had some good economic improvements from people signing up from Product Hunt for sure. Like one of them, we saw an increase of MRR in the first 30 minutes, like 500 grants in the first 30 minutes. But then on the long term, we got a lot of referrals and then like great leads coming from product ads. We still have some great leads coming from product ads, but I wouldn't say that's the main acquisition source for sure. Like
Yeah.
it depends for sure. Like by the time we reached out to their 100K subscribers through their newsletter, it was like a huge hype. But then it depends on the product, the communication, a lot of things. So um, for example, for a lot of launches, we had like a crappy onboarding and we had this, bottleneck. Even if you have like the greatest product, but your onboarding sucks, you're not going to see conversions. So we had a crappy onboarding at the time, and still we had some great results from launching on Product Hunt.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's really important to just go there without any expectations. Like we were talking with another founder, and they were building an affiliate management tool. And what he's saying, like a lot of people approach affiliate management as, set it and forget it. And then, people are just going to come and sell your product to like everyone in the world. And it doesn't really work that way. And with Product Hunt as well, like if the product doesn't sell, it's not going to sell in Product Hunt or through affiliates. If it's a bad product, it's a bad product. That's it. So like you have to put a lot more work apart from just launching on Product Hunt or whatnot. So
True.
yeah, and super,
I agree with
super interesting. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Well, another thing that I really wanted to ask, because while there were lifetime deals, there were launches. And I guess just by judging, by looking at your website, you're getting more and more out there with the content. So how has your growth strategy and like marketing has changed over the years?
Sure. So for the very first 5 years, we never. I would say after the lifetime deal, we hired an agency to run some PPC campaigns. But the thing is, as you said before, we are in a very crowded industry. At the time, it was crowded. Today is 10x more crowded. So you need to be very smart on where you're putting your money onto. And basically, at the time, we started running some Instagram, Facebook ads, PPC, but the window of closing the deal was far away from the time we invested any amount. So for us, it wasn't feasible to run PPC campaign because it was too expensive to reach out to the customer, and for sure, like we were targeting the small businesses at the time. So small businesses convert into, I don't know, 50, $99 per month of MRR. And the cost per acquisition is way too high to, it's like 500, 600, $1,000. It depends where you're going, which kind of country we are targeting, but like it's way more expensive than what we get. And so the ROI on any campaign is like fast forward to 1 year. It's moved,
Yeah.
it's pushed to 12 months at least. So now we're focusing on, especially with AI, is changing our business model a lot. So if before we were offering just a complete customer service suite, that is kind of boring. You don't feel that problem. You don't feel the return of investment on a software, a service like that. But now the AI is shaping the kind of business model and messaging as well, because if before was just a software as a service, today is like your virtual assistant helping you to support your customers where your team is small and cannot afford to add other teammates. But at the same time, we are helping way much more bigger teams that are handling 2,000 tickets per day, because the AI can reduce that by up to 50%. So the model changed, the revenue changed as well, because it's not just MRR anymore, it's revenue by the subscription and also the AI. And the AI is actually way much more. The revenue on AI is way much more than the subscription itself. So it's
Oh, wow.
crazy how this is transforming our business and our way to go to the market. Because if before we had just a focus on small businesses, because at the time we were small businesses and we were, in the boots of their businesses as well. Now the message is changing because we know we can at our best bigger companies with AI. So we started focusing more on creating content, and we optimized the SEO content a lot. Also, the generation of the articles and the backlinks and everything. So it's a full strategy that we put in place to reach out to the right customer searching for customerly. Because like one challenging thing about customerly and any software solution, you either acquire the customer when is a startup, or we acquire a customer when they switch from another service. So at a certain point, they need to, I don't know, improve their customer service processes, and they need a better solution. So they're going to switch from another solution. These are the two stages we are seeing a lot of acquisition coming from. So even like early stages, and the early stages, MRR is like very little. We can invest 1,000 back on them. And at the same time, to get to people switching, the intent of people switching from another solution is like very complex to get. So we're investing into content to, create awareness of what we do. And at the same time, we are hiring sales rep to do outbound. So this is the strategy and how it's changing, because it's not changing only the communication, the messaging about customer, but it's also changing the strategy because we are moving up market. And recently been to SAST in San Francisco, and I met the new CEO of the Cibo, Alessio Artufo, and they had the same experience. So they were serving small businesses, and they figured out that their software was like even much more helpful for enterprises. So they moved up market, building the sales team, and that was so inspiring for me, because it's like that hit me badly. I said, I'm in the same position. I know we're helping a lot of small businesses, but it's time to move up market, because I know that with AI we can help them the most. So it's a mix of generating content for the right search intent, and at the same time creating the outbound strategy. This is how we are changing our marketing strategies.
Okay, wonderful. That was actually supposed to be my next question. How, since you're going up market, how is your customer acquisition changing? So, as far as I understand, for like the startups, the smaller companies, you still have a fully self-serve opportunity to just onboard, pay with the credit card and go use it. But for the bigger companies, you actually have a sales team now because they like
Mhm.
a more personalized approach. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So in terms of sales, outbound sales, we tried a couple of years ago to hire an agency,
Hmm.
to create the sales process, the outbound sales process for us. And I learned the hard way that that wasn't feasible. You need to understand, build your sales process in house, and then outsource. We wasted 36K with this process. Like we
Hmm.
tried for 6 months, that didn't work. That actually brought zero results. So I was like kind of burnt by this experience that outbound sales wasn't working for us. But the lesson learned was like, no, you need to build it yourself, and then you can create a template to reproduce. So I've been using some mentorship here and there
Hmm.
from people that did that, and now we're having like a more structured way of selling. Also because like it's a very long process.
Yeah.
I also did like for a lot of time I've been doing inbound sales, and so we got enterprises with inbound sales. It was super cool, but like when you're knocking to the doors and saying, look, we have this kind of solution, is a completely different ballpark. So we're getting better at that. And we needed to change a lot of processes. For example, we never had like contact sales in our landing pages. It was always like get a free trial. We never had like a get a demo. Today we have in a couple of pages get a demo as a main call to action, and it's also qualifying automatically based on different properties of the company, if they are going to sell served or pass them to the sales team. So we're getting there. It's completely shifting the way we are thinking about user acquisition for sure.
All right, super. Thank you. Well, since we started talking about the team, right? And I've listened to a couple of your previous podcasts, and I really loved, and I have a quote here, which you said, you can go far solo. You need great people to build great businesses. So I would really love to talk a little bit more about the team, because ultimately the team shapes the company and the vision and this the structure and the processes there. So, how big is the team? And also, I think something that founders would be interested in to know, what role did you first hire for?
Sure, great question. Yeah, I definitely think that having a great team it's fundamental to build a software like customarily. Like when I started, I created Quiz Patente alone, and then I had some partners. One of them is actually today partner at Customarily as well. Thing is, you cannot build this kind of company um, without a team of great minds. And I'm proud of the great minds we had in Customarily because we put a lot of passion in building the product that today is serving billion of people, because the live chat last year has been shown to 1 billion people. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
really proud of the work we created so far compared to, huge companies. Our competitors have maybe thousands of employees, and we are 12 people in like full time and like hired as an external resource. But like in 12 people we could get over here, and the main developer team is like 5 people. And that's crazy. Like if you see the product and if you see how is it growing, it's crazy to think about how well oiled we are to build products. We are super fast to develop things and to bring it to life. I'm really proud of all of them. We're every one of us is completely into the product, 100%, and there is no micromanagement. Also, like they have a lot of liberty to choose like how the product would evolve, because like for example tech things should be that way, or like they feel it's a better thing to create that kind of UX in that way. So there's a lot of liberty, and today the team is very well oiled to release new products evolvements at every single day. The first hires were definitely developers. So we were the three of us founding the Customerly at the time, and we were friends. The CTO is definitely, it's a great mind. Matteo is super good at what he's doing. He created an amazing infrastructure. And then we started looking for other partners to join the company. So it was like two developers. They helped massively to build what is today the backend and the mobile apps of Customerly. And then we hired also Igor, that is another great mind that created all the web app, the new messenger. It's crazy. So we invested a lot into the product. Now we have a UX team and also a content team. So we're moving now that we have like a super product. We're moving more into marketing and sales for sure. And the next tires is going to be on marketing, sales, and developers as well for the next year.
Okay, wonderful. It's great to see how you're growing and like how empowered the team is. This is something that we also truly believe in at saas group, that you give people the power to build something, to create something, and when they understand that yeah, there is no micromanaging, I can actually do stuff that I feel is right, and do something I think is going to move the needle, it just makes such a great difference. So it's great to see how you're doing it. All right, so just a couple more questions since we started talking about how great the team is, and maybe this is going to be the answer to my next question. But what has been so far the biggest win and the biggest failure?
Biggest failure for sure, the sales process we tried to build, I told you about. Wasting 36K was like, to me, was like a big failure, but at the same time, a big learning lesson. Biggest success, I would say, definitely having the team I have today to build customerly. I'm very proud of the people that are building customerly. To me, that's a great success. And also, like, even if you're a small company, even if we are like, we don't have millions to invest in PPC, we are attracting huge companies, IPO stage, public companies. Like, to me, that is like a huge success. Today, being here with this kind of product, the team, and the kind of prospects and customers we got is like a dream coming true.
All right, that's wonderful. I'm really, yeah, I'm really enjoying the way you talk about it. It's very kind of holistic, very similar to what we're striving for. So it's really great to talk to founders who kind of share the same mindset. All right, and one more question that I really wanted to ask is a hack. I always ask for a hack, so I guess with you it makes sense to ask for a hack for better customer communication, because you guys are doing it, and I'm pretty sure you've nailed it internally at customerly. So, what is it?
So, we ate chatbots. We always ate the chatbots. And I guess you had like a bad experience with a chatbot as well. Actually, may I ask you what was your worst experience with a support chatbot you had in the past?
Oh, good question. I don't remember what company was it, or I think it was several even. And usually it's something. It's a big company, and I just hate when it's you know, give us more information, give us more information. But then we're just going to keep sending you to FAQ and to like different pages, and you're never going to see the light of day, and you're never going to see a real person helping you or like anything relevant to your particular case. So I feel like, I mean, chatbots can be okay when it's like just solving like let me Google it for you kind of problem, right? It's right there. Like you could actually go to FAQ and read it. But when it comes to like real problems, oh yeah, you should have something better than that.
Yeah, so that's the main kind of pain everyone has about chatbots. Okay, they're the way they're created by companies, right? Not our competitors, but like companies adopting chatbots to support their customer. It's somehow it's wrong because you need to build prompts, okay, that try to identify the main issues you might have as a customer, and you need to build a lot of branches to support the customers for every single thing, but it's impossible to cover every kind of issue they might having with your products. So we never offered the kind of experiences because we aided firsthand. We aided the way the prompts were putting customers in loops, and we heard some other feedback that they are gatekeepers for the actual human team, and we didn't want to create the kind of bad experience for our customers. So we never had the kind of automation within our chats. It was only humans serving humans until we got GPT. So we created this layer where you can help your customers. They can express themselves without pushing any button. They can just type down what the issue is, and our AI assistant is capable of understanding the whole context of what you shared, searching it in your knowledge base or canned responses. And if there is a solution, she's gonna create uh, a solution for your problem. And if she doesn't have a solution, she's gonna escalate to the team with a predicted message. Even if she's not confident enough about the solution she found, she's gonna escalate to the human team. So it's not a gatekeeper for the human team, it's a way to reduce the number of tickets that you're getting, and the customer is not pissed off because you will not be redirected to any different pages to read that part of the knowledge base article. She's going to gather that information for you, and you don't have to push 10 times the prompt that the chatbot is going to provide. You just need to share your issue. She can understand what it is and split in also in different questions and understand the whole context of the messages. Another thing that chatbots cannot do is like understanding the whole context of the entire messages that you shared. So let's say you shared, I had this experience last week with a software we are using. I shared my issue at the very first message. The bot wasn't capable of responding, and then I got the prompt. What's this issue is about? Product issue, okay. And then it was a loop. And then after 10 different things that I pushed, they asked me again to rewrite the same issue. And then they said, okay, I'm gonna pass to the human. And then I have to write it again. So it was like 3 times I had to write it, and I was pissed off. Okay. You don't want to treat your customer that way. So we reversed this thing where now you have an AI layer that is capable of understanding the issue. If she's confident, she's gonna share the response. Otherwise, it's gonna escalate automatically to the team. We believe we actually shifted the chatbot industry with a very powerful AI that can help customer service teams and also customers on the other hand.
You keep calling your AI she. Does she have a name?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The name we chosen is Aura.
Okay.
Um, it's yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's she's
Super.
you know how would you call an AI? It, she, her, he, their. I don't know. To me, it's a she because we created this kind of personalities. Like an AI
Mm-hmm.
assistant is actually a teammate in Customerly, and we gave it to her this name Aura. What about you?
Okay.
What do you think about AI? How do you name it?
I've never thought about it actually. It's a very interesting question. I don't know. Uh, No, I should think about it. I should call ChatGPT somehow. Give him a name. Give him a name. I It's a boy for me, so
You see? You
right?
see?
Yeah, right? So I'll think about it for sure. But Luca, it's been great talking with you. I mean, as far as I can see, you're building something really valuable for a lot of companies. I certainly hope any problem I have on any platform will be using customerly, so that I don't have to go into loops, and it will be a little bit easier with customer support. So yeah, thank you so much for telling this story, and yeah, I hope to do it again sometime.
Thank you so much, Anna, for having me. It was a real pleasure to share the story and to meet you.
Sure, same here, and take care.